So A is equal to 475 meter per second squared. Are we fine?
Yes, please.
All right. Then another question. Let me put the question on the board. I'm coming in. Okay, please, I'm reading. I'm dictating this question for you. Two forces P and Q. Two forces P and Q are of magnitudes 12 and 8 newtons respectively. Two forces P and Q are of magnitude 12 and 8 newtons respectively. Can I continue?
Yes, please.
Okay. Calculate the magnitude and direction of the resultant of P and Q. Calculate the magnitude and direction of the resultant of P and Q of P and Q if I.
Mr. Please, can you go over?
Two forces P and Q are of magnitude 12 and 8 newtons. 12 and 8 newtons. Calculate the magnitude and direction of the resultant of P and Q if I P and Q act in the same direction. P and Q acts in opposite direction. P and Q act in opposite direction. And P and Q are inclined at 120 degrees to each other. P and Q are inclined at 120 degrees to each other. So two forces P and Q are of magnitude 12 and 8 newtons. Calculate the magnitude and direction of the resultant of P and Q if P and Q act in the same direction and are parallel. Okay, forget about the parallel. P and Q act in the same direction. Once they don't meet, they are parallel. So P and Q act in opposite direction, and P and Q are inclined at 120 degrees to each other. So it is, you are looking for the magnitude and the direction. This is the problem of the evening. I'm giving you about 10 minutes to look at it. For now, I'm going for commercial break. I'll get back to you, okay? Bye-bye. So after 10 minutes, I'll come back to see what you have done. Then we solve it together, right?
Yes, please.
Please make good use of.
Yeah.
Hello.
Please, I wasn't here when the meeting, you were saying the question.
Come again.
Please, I wasn't here when you were saying the question.
So you didn't get the question. Oh, your line is breaking. Please, Adibia, is it you?
Yes, please.
Get back to Adibia with a question for me, okay?
Yes, please.
All right. Please, 10 minutes I'll come home. So make sure that you go through it well after 10 minutes. Okay. See you. You can discuss. You can even discuss, okay?
Mama Jumpa, please can you give me the question?
Yeah, I'm typing it to you. Have you seen it? Olivia?
Yes, Mama Jumpa.
Have you seen the question?
Did you send it to me via WhatsApp?
No, just here on the chat.
Oh, what? No. Okay.
Have you seen it now?
No, please. It will take some time.
Can I have your number? Or should I dictate it for you?
No.
Should I dictate it for you, or you can't hear me properly?
Yes, please. It is
Okay.
best.
Okay. Two forces P and Q are of magnitudes 12 Newton and 8 Newton respectively. Two forces P and Q are of magnitudes 12 Newton and 8 Newton respectively. Calculate the magnitude and direction of the resultant P and Q if I, P and Q act in the same direction. I, P and Q act in the same direction. I, P and Q act in opposite directions. I, P and Q act in opposite directions. I, P and Q are inclined at 180 degrees to each other. I, P and Q are inclined at 120 degrees to each other. Yeah, it's only 3 sub questions. You're welcome.
Okay, I'm back. 1 minute more. All right, your time is up. So let's see what you got. Or we solve it and you use the opportunity to assess whatever you put down. Okay. So whilst we look at it, you mark yourself. So we have two forces P and Q of magnitude 12 and 8. So P has a magnitude of 12 Newton, Q has a magnitude of 8 Newton. First, we are told that calculate the magnitude and direction of the resultant of P and Q if I and Q act in the same direction. So when they are acting in the same direction, obviously the resultant will be P plus Q, which will be equal to 12 plus 8, which will give us 20 Newton. And because they are acting in the same direction, the direction will be the direction of the forces. The direction of the forces or of the two forces. Please, are you okay?
Yes, please.
Okay, then P and Q act in opposite directions. So once they act in opposite direction, the resultant will be equal to the least one subtracted from the greater one, and the larger one is P. So P minus Q, which is equal to 12 minus 8, and is equal to 4 Newton. The direction of the resultant will be the direction of the resultant the direction is the direction of P, the resultant will be in the direction of P. Okay. Then
Yes.
Then when they are acting 120 degrees to each other, what happens? So this time let's draw. Let's draw. So you place one of them on the x-axis. It can be P. Let's assume P is here. And before you locate Q, you have to measure an angle of 120 degrees from P. Because the angle between them, the forces, is 120. So let's assume this is 120 degrees. And this will be Q, 8 Newton. All right. So you resolve them into a parallelogram of forces. Okay. And how do we do that? Equal vector. I create an equal vector of P. Place it on the head of Q. Kara, you there?
Yes, please.
Okay, so you create an equal vector of P and place it on the head of Q. And I want to distinguish between them by representing this in a broken line. So vectors are equal when they have the same magnitude and direction. Once I'm drawing one which is the same as this, the direction must be the same. The magnitude must also be the same, and the two must be parallel. Then I also create an equal vector of this, of Q, and place it on the head of P. So they must be parallel. So this is also Q. This is P. 8 Newton, and this is 12 Newton. By doing that, I have a parallelogram. And look at the arrows. This is going here, this is going here, this is going here, this. So the resultant will be drawing a vector from the tail of Q to the head of P. This will be the direction of the resultant R. Now, when you extend this line, because this is parallel to this, they all need to have the same slope. So the angle between this and this, which is 120, the same angle must be here, 120. So that this is 180 minus 120. Please, are we okay?
Yes, please.
Carol, are you fine?
Yes, please.
Aliza, are you fine? Mera and Nana Bibia. Okay, so the resultant square is equal to P squared plus Q squared minus 2 times P times Q times cos of 180 minus 120. I know it is equal to 60, but we are going through method. So now what is P? P is 12. So 12 squared plus 8 squared minus 2 times 12 times 8 times cos of 60. So 144 plus 64, cos 60 is half, so minus 2 times 12 by 8 times half. 2 and 2 will cancel out. So we have, this is 802, so 208. Okay, minus, what is 12 by 8? 12 times 8.
96.
96. When you subtract 208 minus 96,
112.
113.
2.
Therefore, R is equal to square root of 112. Now, even if you don't have calculator, when you square, the square of 10 is 100. And so this will be 10 point something. Okay. So what did you get? 10 point what? 5, 6. What did you get?
10.53.
583.
All right. Now, another way. You see, cos 180 minus 120 is equal to negative of what? Is equal to negative of what?
Cos 120.
Good. Cos 120. So what it means is that what cos 180 minus 120 will do, only the negative cos of 120 would also do. So let's also look at it from that angle. When we use that, it means the resultant is equal to 12 squared plus 8 squared minus 2 times 12 times 8 times cos of times negative cos of 120, because we just saw that cos 180 minus 120 is equal to negative cos of 120. So in place of cos 180 minus 120, we are putting this. Is that okay? So 144 plus 64 negative times negative plus 2 by 12 by 8 cos 120. Now cos 120 is, this is 208. Cos 120 is negative half. So this is negative half. So negative times negative, making a minus. 2 by 12 by 8 times half. Yes, and it's cancelled. So you realize that it brings you back to the same thing we got. What I'm trying to do is that whichever way you look at it, you need to get the same answer, right? You need to get the same answer. Any question? No question. Let's look at the angle. Please, let me see by hands, those of you who got this right. If you got this right, let me see you. And sing for you. Carol got it. Who else? Eliza got it. Is that all? Nana Jemfua Bibia Mirabel Linda. Okay. Now you have the opportunity to correct your mistakes, right? Angle. Let's look at the angle. Here, the angle can be 2 in 1. The angle the resultant makes with the x-axis, or this is east. In terms of bearing, this is east. Then it means that when we draw a line through it, we can have y here or the north. So the angle can be where you want to take the direction of the resultant from. Is it to the x-axis or to the east, or from the y-axis or north? But in bearings, angular measurement is always taken from the north. So if it's in bearing, then you have to always determine the direction of the resultant from the north. So let's consider the two different ways. If we are to determine it from the x-axis or east, then it means I need to determine this angle, this wall angle alpha. So using sine rule, the sine rule, you take a ratio, sine of the ratio of the angle to the side opposite to it, or the ratio of the side opposite to it to the sine of the angle. Both ways can do. So if I'm looking for this, then I can go by sine of alpha divided by the side opposite to it, the scale, which is equal to sine of any other available angle. So sine 180 minus 120 over the resultant R. So sine alpha over Q is 8 Newton is equal to sine 60 over the resultant is 10.53. Therefore, sine alpha is equal to 8 times sine 60 over 10.53. Sine 60 is root 3 on 2. So 4 roots of 3 divided by 10.53. Please calculate this ratio for me.
Mr. Idia,
Hello.
please, the resultant is 10.583.
10.583. Oh, okay.
Yes,
This is 58.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. So what is this ratio? 4 root 3 divided by 10.58. Awafala, you are quiet.
Yes, Miss Davia.
Yes. What? Give me that ratio.
Please, I'm a bit lost.
Pardon?
Please, I'm a bit lost.
You are.
Okay, please.
I just give me this ratio. Then we take the sine inverse. Of this ratio. Now I can fly and then you speak to me. Time.
41 degrees.
Okay, so alpha is equal to 41 degrees. What it means is that if you want What this means is that the direction of the resultant is 41 degrees from the x-axis or from the east. So if I'm here and I to get the resultant, I have to turn through this angle from the east or x-axis. If I want to take it from the north, then from the y-axis to the x-axis, what is the total angle there? That is 90, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
hello.
Please, I think I'm a bit lost with the angle part.
You see, I'm looking for the direction of the resultant, and the direction can be two-way. It can be from the x-axis or from the y-axis. Is that okay?
Yes, please.
So if it is to the x-axis, then if I'm here, I have to turn through this angle to face this resultant. Isn't it?
Yes, please.
Good. So it means I have to determine this angle alpha. And that is what we've done here using the sine rule. All right.
Yes, please.
So what this means is that the direction of the resultant from the x-axis or from the east is 41 degrees and degrees with the sense of the sort of degrees.
So, Mr. Adia,
Hello.
so please be right as 41 degrees from the east.
Exactly, or from the x-axis.
Yes, please. Okay.
Or you can also take the direction of the resultant from the y-axis, okay, or the north. So when you subtract alpha, is also, let's say alpha, direction of the resultant can also be 90 minus 41 degrees. And what is 90 minus 41 degrees?
49 degrees.
So it can also be 49 degrees from the y-axis or the north or north. Meaning, if I'm here, if I'm on the y-axis, I have to turn through this angle to face the direction of the resultant. Both ways describe direction. Are we okay?
Yes, please.
So both ways will describe direction. But usually, convention, an accepted way of doing things. In bearings, angular measurement is always taken from the north. In bearings, angular measurement is always taken from the north. So some people would always want to describe it. Okay, Brittany, if the screen is blurry, please rejoin. I think it's a network problem.
Yes, please.
In bearings, angular measurement is always taken from the north. So always we want to follow convention, and that is we are always taking the direction from the north. So the 41 degrees from the north would be the acceptable form when it comes to bearing. But in trigonometry, because angles are measured anti-clockwise, in trigonometry, we are always measuring angle anti-clockwise. This is also accepted. So the thing is that both ways are always accepted. As a woman.
Yeah.
Hello.
Please, I think my concern was with, I understand the sign rule and how to apply it.
Okay.
If you draw your parallelogram or maybe triangle differently from the way you've done it, it will be a bit And should I say tricky?
But how will you draw it apart differently from what I have done? Because this is how it has to be done. The other way can be this. Good. Your question is a good one, so let's look at it. You see, in the question we just saw, we were only told that the angle between the two forces must be 120. We were not told whether the angle should be taken from X or Y. So somebody can also place one of them on maybe B here on the Y axis. Then from the Y axis, I draw an angle of 120. Let's assume this 120. And that's a scale. All that I need is that the angle between P and Q must be 120 degrees. This is the other way this can be done differently. Since we were not told where to measure our angle from, all that we are told is that the angle between P and Q must be 120. Are you okay?
Yes, please.
All right, so if it is this, the same thing, we resolve this into a parallelogram. This is here. So whichever way we look at it, here, or here, the resultant will be here.
But Mr. Ija, if you use the triangle of vectors, it would be if you use the triangle of vectors.
Yes. And from what we've done,
it would still be the same.
It will be the same. From what we've done, it means that P plus Q is equal to R, whichever way you look at it. But the point is that because this is not a scale drawing, you can't add this to get R. You have to use cosine rule. Are you fine?
Yes, please.
So it depends on, anyway, let's finish it. We got a resultant to be 10.58. R is equal to 10.58 Newton. So if I want to determine the direction of the resultant from, it means that this is Y axis. Okay, then I have to turn through this way. Okay, so using sine rule, we have sine of alpha. Let's change it to alpha because theta is the 120 over Q is equal to sine of any available angle. We earlier calculated for this. I'm coming. So this 120, so this 60. All right, this is also 60. So sine 60 over R. Therefore, sine alpha, which is equal to Q. What's the magnitude of Q? What is the value of Q? 8. 8 times sine of 60 divided by R 10.58. Please quickly calculate for R T alpha for me. Let's find alpha. 4 root of 3 on 10.58. Oh, okay. So the same value. Alpha will be 41.
Yes, please.